Sober living in Florida. According to Jurgens, 2021, some psychological conditions may trigger someone to become an alcoholic if you suffer from depression, bipolar disorder, and even social anxiety. Addressing these issues requires professional care to tend their treatment needs. People who seek support and work to recover or remove from alcohol or drug addiction. Established sober living caters to their recovery needs from alcohol or drug addictions. If you struggle to get back yourself on track, you might need this kind of place to reside. A sober living will support you to get back of yourself on a regular track, such as making worthwhile decisions, being active to accomplish a task, and being sensitive to your surroundings and yourself. This place is devoted to your lasting recovery and helps you to avoid drug or alcohol dependence. Your treatment recovery also corresponds to some tasks you have usually done at your home. Rules and regulations are formulated for their guidance to promote peaceful and harmonious living while on their homestead. Violations will incur corresponding penalties according to your violation/s committed, either by paying a fine, compensation to your co-residents, creating an essay of the cause of the breach. To some extent, they will dismiss you to the area due to offenses of their rules. Best sober living in Florida. Searching for the best sober living would entail much time and effort to take up calls and direct messages inquiring for their services to support you or loved ones who might need it. The best sober living for you might be sober living that will suit your recovery needs. Your preferences affect selecting the best sober living for you. Your location might also be on the list of your consideration, wherein you'll encounter the pros and cons of your journey. And it is a good thing to know your needs and which appropriate and convenient for your treatment. These sober living framed distinctively to serve your lasting recovery for your journey to becoming an independent and productive member of society. Moreover, we are here to assist your demands in searching for the best sober living throughout Florida by selecting your preferred city. Some listings of best sober living in cities include Miami, Delray Beach, Orlando, and Tampa. To run through their contact details, facilities, and services, visit their directory by clicking the highlighted city. If you need assistance, don't hesitate to reach us through the contact details posted on our homepage. We are pleased to address your needs and concerns. Cost of sober living in Florida. If you or your loved ones struggle to recover from drug or alcohol addiction, sober living might assist your treatment needs. Supporting your treatment needs also corresponds with their needed funds to suffice your services needs, facilities, and other utilities to sustain your recovery journey. The decent area you need might cost you as well higher fees to pay each month. Different type of sober living has their additional fees as well. Still, the rent usually reached its rental fees cost of $221 per week, average rate $184 per month. Within Florida, these fees are figured based on an analysis from the 421 accredited homes conducted by Florida Associate of Recovery Residences, FARR, an organization established to evaluate and oversee if the support recovery residences meet standards. Furthermore, some factors to consider that would cause some additional fees upon moving in, which usually includes one-time administration fees, security deposits, and first and last month's rent. According to FAR, about 63% of accredited sober living homes charge some administrative fees ranging from $25 to $975, and these fees comprise the following: buying new beddings, pillows, household products, paper towels and toilet paper. 31% of sober living homes require a security deposit to cover the cost of any damages you incurred throughout your stay. However, residents will refund these fees if you leave without any damages done to their properties. In addition, research also shows that the conducive and decent environment of sober living promotes staying sober and improves mental health growth. Sober living homes in Florida. Florida has a variety of sober living homes to offer for your recovery, depending upon your preferences. You can select either male, female, certified, or non-certified houses and even cities you prefer to take your recovery needs that you can find in the Sober Living in Florida directory. Sober Living homes offer great help to rebuild your support network to direct yourself into a better one after escaping from the torture of drug or alcohol dependency. To gain your full and lasting recovery, some Sober Living recommends a minimum of 3-month stay. However, the longer you stay, the more you achieve or sustain being sober. Sober Living homes are also called as Sober Living House/Home transitional living arrangements for people who need a disciplined and supportive living environment distinctive from their homes. They are guided with their rules and regulations to stimulate also a peaceful environment. Structured Sober Living/Housing. In some cases, an advanced level of support compared to a sober living scenario. They offer 24/7 supervision with licensed staff to attend to your needs. How to start a sober living home in Florida. If you are a person who is passionate about helping people to recover from their struggles from alcohol or drug addictions and eager to establish a sober living, then this article is for you. We are here to assist your concerns, and here are a few tips yet essential areas to consider upon establishing or start up sober living homes. 1. Do some assessment of your needs. The fundamental question to ask is why there is a need to establish sober living. Enumerate your priorities and organizational procedures to establish your reliable sober living. Seeking the help of an expert is an excellent first step to assure you are on the right path on your journey to gain knowledge in terms of handling issues, setting up the strategic location, programs, and fees, promotional planning, licensing and regulations, and insurance policy and guidelines in case of any incidents occur that will cover any claim or loss. Potential financial support for total operation is the paramount consideration to sustain all the needs throughout your operational process. 2. Create your action plan. This area demands a side of you to become a critical thinker or bring out the analytic skills to establish your sober living homes exceptionally from other residential housing. Here are some of the critical areas to include in your business plan. Determine the goals and mission of your organization. Calculate overhead costs. Rental fees. Salaries of staff. Utilities. Internet. Other expenses. Type of services offered. Fees. Number of residents to accommodate. Local zoning laws. Policy handbook, and tax filing system. But if you are eager to learn more or you need a complete guide to start up for your sober living homes, you can also take an online course at Ascension Recovery Services wherein they provide an online training program also guided with their expert staff to develop you on how to strategically and effectively set up your sober living in your community. Sober Living in Tampa, Florida. Sober Living in Tampa, Florida offers various options for your recovery needs and the community. If you have decided to stay in this sober living environment, here are some of the benefits that I have gathered after thorough researching that you'll gladly know. You'll sleep better. We all know that enough time for sleep boosts our energy level and sharpen our mind to accomplish our daily tasks. Sober living is a drug and alcohol-free environment. We can't achieve this state if our bodies are full of alcohol or drugs that interrupt our sleep due to hangovers. Persistent guidance and support. You have chosen to stay in the environment that will support you to recover from your struggles, guided by their professional staff that regularly supervise your improvement and help rebuild your social life and help you avoid the risk of relapse. Boosts your health. Residing in a place away from any temptation of our bad habits would help regain our healthy lifestyle. Boosting our health also lessens any anxiety disorder and other health issues caused by alcohol or drug. Self-reliance. Your recovery journey is a success if you can attain this level. It vividly shows that your sober living homes also achieve their mission in their community to recover people who struggle to let go of addictions. Your everyday life restores after the adversity you have encountered. You'll be able to make a sound decision and gain the opportunity to know yourself more after surpassing this kind of in your life. Saves money. Addictions to things would cost us a lot of money to sustain our habits, and after recovering from many of our addictions also benefit us from saving our money. You will be astonished if you can save your money rather than spend it on your addictions. Those are just a few benefits from sober living that you will gain. In addition, you will discover more of its positive effects after completing your recovery journey. Sober Living Homes in Tampa, Florida. How sober living works. Sober living is established to create a place for people who seek help and struggles to recover or withdraw from alcohol or drug addiction. If you are interested to know more about how sober living works, you'll need to know as well their basic rules in terms of the following. For acceptance. Detox is a prerequisite for long-term sobriety. Ongoing clients. Residents are required to be responsible for the daily tasks given. Attendance. Participation in every gathering or group meeting is strictly observed. Program intensity. Usually starts with the problematic program, then it slowly changes for the progress of the resident. Duration of stay. 3 months or 90 days minimum of sober living depending upon the progress of a resident. Some reached until 6 to 9 months for full recovery or independence, but some would even take until a year. These essential variables are closely related to all sober living homes, but there are many more things needed to know about how sober living operates. Best sober living homes in Florida. A kind of sober living that provides a conducive environment while your recovery is the critical mission of their organization. Then, you have landed on the best sober living homes. The best sober living homes also find ways to build a social relationship with their co-residents. Although not all sober living orients their resident that way, if you are worried if the sober living you've selected is legal or illegal, here are some of the red flag signs that will help you to evaluate. Staff is unavailable even in the daytime or nighttime. Charge fees are not transparent. There are additional fees to pay and for some external organization for their particular support services. If failure to pay, client will be evicted. Co-residents tend to overdose frequently. Are you anxious about their program offerings? Then, it's time for you to search for another program that will make you feel comfortable and safe. If you prefer to look for the best sober living homes within Florida, don't hesitate to visit their directory. How to choose a sober living program. For you to avoid red flag signs upon choosing a sober living, here are some essential tips to consider to arrive at the best sober living for you. Certification. Inquire if they are certified by any relevant independent agency. Level of support. Services offered. No matter how long the lists of services they offer, also ask yourself if you need it, or does it fit your needs? Licensed clinical staff. An essential component of sober living homes is the machine that will work for your recovery process. Specialized sober living. Does it offer a program for particular residents, such as veterans, young adults, or a gender-specific type of program? Phases of restriction. Program size. The best sober living is the sober living that will provide your recovery needs.